Hello everyone, my name is Alex. I work at Wise Ancestor. Thank you for having me. So today I wanted to share a bunch of thoughts about how we sequence all life on Earth. So reading the genetic book of life is very important because it improves our understanding of evolution, conservation. We can be able also to engineer plants. We can maybe also bring extinct species back to life. And because we are entering the generative biology era, this scientific and technological trajectory is just the beginning. Amazing, right? So our actions today will shape life on this planet for centuries to come. And so how do we avoid a tragedy of the common is one of my very important questions I would like to ask to this audience today. So we are in a sixth mass extinction. I bet you all know about that. A moment in planetary history where species are disappearing 100 to 1,000 times faster than the natural rate. So that means that the evolving archive of life on Earth is being erased before we can even read it. So as of today, we have sequenced less than 1% of all eukaryotic life. So according to the Genome on a Tree platform, we currently know of just under 2 million species, ranging in size from the blue whale to the single-cell plankton. And behind the statistics, we are missing entire ecosystems that the collapse can threaten human lives. So, as you might know, biodiversity loss can increase the risk of infectious disease, knowing that 75% of emerging infectious diseases are zoonotic. It can affect clean air and water. It is actually affecting clean air and water, fundamental comments. And the global economy is not exempt. The global economy is projected to suffer a 2.7 trillion loss by 2030 if we continue on this trajectory. So how we will generate and how we will make use of those data is a really important question. Are you familiar with the woolly mouse that came out just about 2 weeks ago? So it's a mouse that came out from a lab that has like a woolly fur. Very nice, very, very nice. I could have this in my house, actually. And it has like some traits from the mammoth. So the entire endeavor of this scientific endeavor is actually to revive a mammoth and to be able to actually like create the technology that will able and enable actually to de-extinct and revive some species in the future. However, maybe this technology can be also used to create the nice, new, trendy pets in the future. So how do we use those data is really a present question today. And yeah, it's nice, right? But maybe I think we should more focus on a usage that can actually be more sustainable and help to conserve biodiversity and preserve it. And so those questions about the usage of data generated by biotechnology is not new. In some history here, in 1992, the Convention on Biological Diversity was established to conserve and sustainably use biological diversity for the benefit of present and future generations. It was signed by 150 countries. In 2010, the Nagoya Protocol emphasized the importance of the access to genetic resources and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from their utilization. 2010, Nagoya Protocol. But I would like also to highlight the work of Darrell Posey. So this is a book from 1996 entitled Beyond Intellectual Property, so comments. and it was already like highlighting the important role actually of indigenous people and local communities to manage resources. And so I will be quoting him. He said that Western science may have coined the term nature, biodiversity, and sustainability, but it did not originate these concepts. Indigenous traditional and local communities have sustainably utilized and conserved a vast diversity of plant, animal, and ecosystem since the dawn of human sapiens. And this is very important for us. The Nagoya Protocol and this philosophy and this way of looking at how we sequence life on Earth is very important for Wise Ancestor. And since 2022, I've been working at Wise Ancestor to develop a new model that is more prompt actually to create a new ecosystem and a new approach more prompt to reply to the Nagoya Protocol. So how does system work? So at Wise Ancestor, actually, we have a premise. The premise is to ensure that the result of the process are always returned to the IPLCs. Very important. And so to do that, we start with an approach of co-creation of conservation challenges with IPLCs. We create metadata that allow to attach a generated genetic sample to a community. And we set up also an upfront benefit sharing component with them. Once we have the conservation challenge co-created, so we know which species we're going to sequence, we know what is the upfront benefit sharing, and so forth and so on, we actually gonna transition to the second step of our approach, which is publishing this conservation challenge on the Wise Ancestor platform. The Wise Ancestor platform is actually a decentralized platform that enables scientists across the globe to work on those conservation challenges. So they go on this platform, no matter if they are living on the other side of the planet, they can still work with IPLCs somehow, right? And yeah, they can choose if their lab wants to sequence, extract RNA, etc., etc. So the benefit of this kind of collaborative and decentralized platform are multiple. And I had can we see? No request access. So we have a platform you can go on, Wise Ancestor, and see if you are a scientist. You can actually sign up and you can work on some conservation challenges and get paid for it. So this model actually helped to break the silos between IPLCs and the Western science, right? But I think we still have some challenges that remains because we need, I think, a better tracking system of the data we are generating. So to speak, today we have an ecosystem. We collaborate with this ecosystem, with IPLCs. We co-create conservation challenges. We decide about the species. We do the scientific work. The scientific work is actually tied to the ecosystem and the communities and indigenous people. However, in the future, because we are in a generative biology era, the industry are going to use, and are already using, right, those data, and maybe they're going to create a lot of wealth. So how are we actually building the string between ecosystem, people stewarding the lands, and the industry using the data that are open sourced? That's a very open question, and I would love to hear more about any technological project that can actually solve this problem, because I think we need better tracking system of our data in order to create the way we can fund our commons. So if you want to take part to this challenge, if you're a technologist, a scientist, or a philanthropist organization, you can reach out to us. You can participate in two main ways, I would say. You can take part to the conservation challenges. You can fund them also. We are working on the Bermuda cedar tree at the moment. And you can also come and talk to me if you would like to develop some technologies in order to enable better tracking of open source genetic data. Thank you so much.